Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to VizConnect, connecting you with the art of data visualization and storytelling. So, VizConnect started as a community project with one of the Tableau ambassadors in India, Divya Bharti, in which we wanted to connect our community members with each other just to follow the best practices, learn from each other, and how we can go ahead and connect with each other. So far, we have hosted close to 50 plus sessions. More than 6,000 people have attended our session. We have a YouTube page in which you can go ahead and see all our past sessions. We have a LinkedIn group in which you can go ahead and connect to our community. And this has been possible with the help of our amazing data members. So thank you to them to go ahead and share their knowledge with us on this particular channel. Go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Some amazing resources waiting for you. Join the community, connect with each other, learn from each other on our LinkedIn group. And I also wanted to talk about Tableau Live, which is coming on 26th of August. Go ahead, subscribe to it. Some amazing content is waiting for you. So it will be around 12 a.m. Singapore time. Some great topics and keynotes are waiting for you. Go ahead, explore this new, I will say new normal, to go ahead and connect with each other, right? And on 17 August, we'll go ahead and launch a virtual photo booth. Just remember to go ahead, take a virtual photo and post it in your social network. And also go ahead, create a roundtable or join a roundtable, connect with each other, share your passion about Tableau and data visualization. With that, let me come to our speaker for today. His name is Tristan. Tristan won the Iron West competition in Las Vegas in 2017. Since then, he helps other people grow their Tableau skills by making webinars, conferences, blog articles, and a book, Getting Started with Tableau 2019.2. In 2020, he had the honor of joining the Tableau Zen Master program. He is currently working as a data visualization freelance. And today, Tristan will talk us about the key to grow your Tableau skills. So without further ado, Tristan, over to you.
Hello, good morning, evening, or afternoon, everyone. And can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. So let me share my screen. Yes, sorry. Share this screen. Okay. Again, hello everyone. I'm really happy to present this VizConnect session. My name is Tristan Guillemin. You can find me on Twitter at La Data Viz. I'm French in the case my accent wasn't clear enough. The topic for today, we will talk about three main things. And I'm not going to present myself more than what Chaga did, because I will also share a bit of my journey and you will understand what I'm doing and like a bit of my work. So the three takeaway of this presentation will be like how to build efficient dashboard, how to build anything in Tableau, and the key, what I think is the key to grow your Tableau skills and even your skill in general. So as the introduction and like the main goal of this presentation is to share a bit of my journey. So like the first question a small me can ask is, what is your job? And to answer this question, I could use a lot of different words. I could say I'm information designer, database engineer. Some people call themselves data scientist. I could be also a developer. Simply, I can work in business intelligence. But none of these words actually make sense for people who are not in our field. Like if I say to my grandma, I'm an information designer, she will be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I try to I always explain what I'm doing by saying, yeah, transform tables in graphics. But actually, that's a really bad description. It's a bit like if a doctor would say, my job is to prescribe medicine. And that's the action. And my action is to transform table in graphics, but it's not my job. A doctor, his job is to save life of people. And my job is to help people better understand information. That's my job. People could be companies, could be you, could be the public, anyone, understand more quickly and more efficiently the information. And information is data, could be data that companies possess, their data, or public information, or whatever you find on internet. So really, the goal of my job is to help people better understand information. And you can ask, but how does visualizing data is helpful? How does that help people? Because we have math, we have statistics. And for that, I always start by showing this example of 4 tables that contain X and Y. And have like 11 entries. And as a statistician, you could say like those 4 tables are the same. The X and Y have the same mean and variance. The X and Y correlation is the same in 4 tables. And if you would plot the trend line equation, you will have the same equation. So from a statistical point of view, those tables are exactly the same. And that's when you need to visualize data, because when you visualize these 4 tables, they each tell a really different stories. And some have a trend, some have like outliers. So it's really by looking at the data, but by visualizing the data, you can really discover things and tell stories. That's called the Anscombe's quartet, if you want to know a bit more about it. The other example, if you are a company and you have like, for example, revenue by country, and you want to know, okay, quickly, what is the top 5 of my country? Well, if you have to look at the numbers, it can take a lot of time to just analyze each number. Of course, you can sort, but let's take an example where the data is not sorted. Well, if you visualize it, you can see clearly that the top 5 is France, Germany, UK, Italy, and Spain. And without having to look at the numbers, you can directly see it. So that's why data visualization is important, is to help you and to help everyone better understand information like more quickly and more efficiently. So like old grumpy me could say, like, this is another job in front of a computer. In my time, people were doing things real, like garages, like something useful. And to that, I can show you some example of William Playfair work, like 300 years ago. And William Playfair was doing like bar chart, area chart, and pie chart, like long before our time, almost 300 years ago. And as a reference, the invention of the car engine is 1976. So we were doing data visualization before we were fixing cars or engine or whatever. So it is useful. And like 300 years later, today, and especially during this time of COVID-19, everyone see a lot of graphics, a lot of data visualization. And this is an example of the daily desk that is in the Financial Times, made by Stephen Bernard. And for William Playfair and for Stephen Bernard, the goal is actually the same. It's only the means that have changed. The goal is always to represent the data in the more efficient way for people to understand. But before, you had only a pen and paper, and today you have a lot of tools, even too many tools, and you cannot be an expert in each and every tool. You need to choose the one you like. But whether you like Tableau or Power BI or D3GS or Illustrator, your end goal is always the same. And that is the most important thing, is that we all want to represent the information the most efficient way for people to understand it. Now, like an imaginary brother that I could have could say like, okay, it's not bad, like looks like you like your job. And I often ask myself, like before this presentation, is it my job or is it my passion? Did I choose this job because I like it, or did I start to like it because I was working in that field? So for me, it's not a job or a passion; it can be both. And I will even go further. It can influence each other. The fact that it is my job changed my passion, and the fact that I enjoy doing data visualization in my free time also influenced my job. And that's what I wanted to share with you, a bit of my journey and how both things have influenced each other. So in 2014, I started my first internship, and my first like entry in the world of data was with a business object. Even if there is not like a really super amusing tool to use, I liked the fact that I was helping people to exactly what I was said before, understand the data, understand information, and take better decision with visuals. And I decided to continue in this way. And my first job in 2015, I joined ActinVision. It's a Tableau partner and a consulting company. I discovered Tableau. And for the first time, I was not only liking the end result of the graphics, but I also enjoyed the process. I enjoy creating visualization with Tableau. It was fun. So I decided as like an exercise to also do it on my free time. And in Strasbourg, where I live, every year there is a race called La Strasbourgeoise, and it's for the breast cancer, to fight against breast cancer. And the results of the race were communicated in an Excel file. And I said, okay, I could use my new skill, my new Tableau skill, just like as a newcomer in this community, to try to do a first Tableau Public dashboard. And this was the result. It was my first Tableau Public dashboard, and the first time I was using a tool, a business tool, on my free time to do something I like to do, something I care about. I continued to work in this company, and in 2016, one of my clients was the Council of Europe, and I like to give you this example because first the data are public, are free, it's available on Tableau Public, and it's a good way to see how this passion and job evolved. So for them, the goal was quite simple. They have a 300 pages book, like a big book, with a lot of information about judicial system in the different European countries. So through the book, you have tables, you have bar chart, and you have map that represent the same question. Like, for example, what is the average salary of the judge? What is the number of cases in first instance? So you have this question, and all the countries answer, and you have the result in table, bar chart, and map. And so the goal was, instead of having this book that to print and to send people, it was to build a Tableau Public dashboard where people could select the question, select the country, and see the information for journalists, for whoever has interest in the judicial system in Europe. So that's what we did. We did this Tableau. It's available on Tableau Public. You can search it on CPEG, CEPEK. And they have like a lot of dashboard to answer question about the judicial system in Europe. And so we have the table, we have the bar chart, and we have the map. And that's just one example of one of my clients I work with. But actually, in almost all the client, the business world, we do tables, bar, lines, and maps. And maybe for those who are listening right now, you also have the same feeling. And it's not something bad. Still today, even if like I'm doing also new things in Tableau Public, in the business world, you want to be the more efficient possible, and bar chart, line chart, map, and table are often the most efficient way to represent the information. So it's not a bad thing. It's just that at some point, I like using Tableau. I wanted to do more, and this was not enough. So in 2017, I put myself a personal goal on my free time to try to do more creative dashboard. So I had this job to do more standard business dashboard, but on my free time, I wanted to do some more creative stuff. So I decided to participate to the this competition, and the first one was the European version, and the subject was any data related to Europe, any European data. And because I think you are doing your best work when you work on a subject that you are interested in, I decided to make a visualization about beer consumption in Europe. And you can see, even if it's in the end just a bar chart also, the creativity part and the design part change compared to what you can do in a company. I designed those field glasses, those tap beer, and I tried to represent the data in a non-conventional way. I was not selected to go to the final of R&V's Europe, and I asked some feedback. And I think that's also one of the key to grow your skill is to ask feedback. And Tableau answered me. So for those who have participated into this R&V session, ask for feedback, ask how you can improve. And they told me like the analysis was good, the design was good, but the storytelling was not anywhere. Like I didn't have any story to tell. I was just presenting data, presenting fact. So for the next feeder, for the global R&Vs, the theme was the safari and the jungle. I decided to write a story. So it's the story of someone who wakes up in the middle of the jungle and he hears like a spirit talking, and he has to collect to collect the elements. And there is like 4 chapters, and you unlock the last chapter with a trial that forces you to look around in the data. And I really built this in that storytelling way. Now, again, this visualization, this dashboard is really, really different to something I would do at work. I never do something with so much clutter in my job. And there is a good reason for that is you will want to avoid having this clutter to have the most efficient way to represent the information and to not have to search too much into a lot of graphical elements to find the one you are looking for. But the theme was safari. The theme of the feeder was the jungle. And if you close your eyes and if you imagine yourself in the middle of the jungle, you don't see something clean. You don't see something tidy and white and proper. You see clutter. You see trees. You see like dark colors. You see animals, things like that. And that is the feeling that I wanted to put in my visualization. So it's not about clutter versus unclutter. One is better than the other. It depends, and that's the motto of like everything you do in Tableau. Sometimes, if it serves the purpose of your story, if it serves the purpose of what you want to convey as an information, sometimes it's good to also have those graphical elements if it serves the purpose of your story. And in that case, it was the case. So this visualization was selected, and I was able to go to the final of the R&Vs. And this time, the focus is entirely different. For the final, you have to build a dashboard in 20 minutes on stage. Of course, you receive the data earlier, so you can practice to achieve doing your dashboard in 20 minutes. And actually, doing the dashboard in 20 minutes when you have a lot of practice to do it is not that difficult. It's not the difficult part of R&Vs. The really difficult part of R&Vs is to sell, in the end, your dashboard in 5 minutes in front of the jury and the crowd. And you have just 5 minutes to make people understand your dashboard and to teach them something and to make them choose your dashboard. So those 5 minutes are everything you have to sell your dashboard. So, and this is the first takeaway is how to build an efficient dashboard that people understand quickly and efficiently. And the example is that housing market data that I had. So the dashboard I produced was this one. So on the left, you can see the big picture of the housing market in the US. So you see the median house value during the bubble, the crisis, and the recovery. So you just remember the 3 main events, the housing bubble, crisis, and recovery. In the middle, you have a state-by-state timeline, and I could play the animation so you can see the crisis happening, and you can see how the price of the house were decreasing in every state at some point, from where it started and how it went to the entire United States. And on the right, you can select your state and your city to see information about the house, the value evolution, and the city the house value per city in your state or in your city. And this visualization was the one selected. So I had the honor to be the winner of this 2017 version. And I asked myself, and no, I didn't ask myself, but I really tried to think about how to make this dashboard as efficient as possible so people will understand it and choose it. And for me, there are three main things in every dashboard. First, you will want your dashboard to be understandable by everyone. And when you have only 5 minutes, this is critical. This is a key. And that's why I put this thing on the left. So the picture. It's really simple information to understand. You have the same graph, but just with one highlighted element. And you can see, okay, this was the bubble, this was the crisis, and the recovery. It's just to put you back in the context of what happened around the housing market in the US. So you need context to make your dashboard understandable. If you don't have context, people will not understand what are you talking about. Second, you need to make your dashboard interesting, and that's the middle part. That's where you can see what was going on, that it started in the Northeast and then spread across the entire United States. That's the story. And so to make a dashboard interesting, you need an analysis. You need a story, you need something that people will take and say, oh, I learned that today. The third part is to make your dashboard personal. And that's the right part. You could choose your state, for example, Washington, and see the house value in your state, in your city. And that's like also like really important. Everyone, when you are listening to me, when you use a dashboard that you can input your age, your gender, your name, your city, your country, whatever, you will always click on or choose yours first, because you will want to have information that interests you and or your friend or your family. So that's why you always need some personalization in your dashboard to help people make it their own and to interest them. So with the three elements, context, analysis, personalization, is for me the key to build an efficient dashboard. And every dashboard needs this context, needs a context, an analysis, and some personalization through filters or parameters or whatever. So in 2018, I joined a new company called Augury, and I was doing much more my current passion as my job. I was designing. I'm designing studies for clients, external clients, sometimes on Tableau Public. This is like for an example of a marketing study. So I needed to put a lot of design aspect, a lot of like aesthetic aspect in my dashboard, like what I was doing on Tableau Public, to make it interesting and to make people like. And in this dashboard, you have also like the context on top. You have a lot of analysis through the dashboard, and you can click on a country to see information about your country during the World Cup, and you can see some information. So I was doing my passion as my job. Like I was really like what I was doing on my free time was the same as I was doing as in my job. So I decided to do more. And in 2019, my goal was to experiment, because I was really bad at technical things in Tableau. In every dashboard you saw from the beginning, there is nothing that is not built in Tableau. There is only bar chart, line chart, area chart, whatever. And it's just like a mix with color, image, and things like that. But there is or like a standard dual axis to create a lollipop, but there is nothing out of the box. I was not able in 2018 to do a Sankey or to do things you can see on Tableau Public that are more crazy. So my goal was, okay, I have this weakness. I can design things, I can tell story, but I'm really bad at the more technical visualization. So my goal was to experiment. And I first like put a feet in the data dev world to learn how to code, to learn how to program. And I team up with Merlin, with incredible people to like learn how to code, how to use JavaScript and things like that. I also learned D3.js to build visualization with another tool than Tableau. So this was my first Viz in D3GS using JavaScript. And at some point, I found a way to transform these D3GS element Viz in Tableau. And that's why I want to share with you. The second thing is how to build anything in Tableau. It will be a bit more technical, but I think just by seeing how it works, you may have some new ideas. And I already saw that on Twitter with people reusing this technique in other language to build anything that you want in Tableau. So the principle that I'm using is this one. I use observable, and I will show you what it is in an instant, to code in JavaScript and using D3GS to render SVG. So the SVG is like the graphical element. I convert this SVG element into a CSV, into a polygon, and then polygon, and I put the CSV in Tableau. So let me show you how that works. So this is just an example of observable. So you can write code and directly see the result of what you type. So it's really useful to build like some application or to have a visual feedback of what you are doing. So this is a really standard bar chart in observable using D3GS. And it shows the frequency of letters in the English language. So the first one is E, then T, A, O, etc. So this is like a standard SVG graph render with D3GS. If I inspect this bar, so I just enter into the code to see this bar chart, you can see that it's a SVG. Oops, it's a SVG that has a X and Y position, a height and width, and I can see all my bar is a distinct rectangle element. And I can see each of them has a class called myBar, because if I look at the code used to generate this bar chart, this is the code, you can see that I have added the attribute class myBar. And when I said that on observable, you can see the changes directly. For example, if I type red here, I will change the color. And so you can really see the result of what you are doing live. If I change the height of that Viz, I can also see how the graph will evolve. So now the key is to convert those SVG elements, those rectangles, into polygon that Tableau can understand. So for that, I have this array of points, and I will explain you how to create it. So first, I initiate my array of points, and this is where I will put all the points to generate the polygon. And I said that I need 400 points by each bar to render a polygon. And we will see later that it's not useful to have that many because a rectangle is just 4 points. But with the 400, you will it can work on anything, a Sankey or like a Voronoi, whatever. So the first goal is to get the pass. So this line. This line, I will get all the elements that have the class myBar. So if I return that, you will see I have 25 elements, so 25 letters, and each one is my rectangle element. So each one of those elements is a bar. So I loop through all the bar and I return the bar element. So each bar, this is just the pass is just one bar. One bar has the name, this one E, and a value 0, like 13%. This is, I'm currently looking at this bar. And I also have other information like X, Y position with. So I will store the name and the value, and then I will use get total length to get the total length of my SVG element in pixel. And then I can use get point at length to ask what is the coordinate, the X and Y position of my rectangle at this point. So I will start with the point 0, and I will get the X and Y position of the point 0. Then I will go to the point 1, 2, and that's 400 times. So each bar has 400 points that are the outline of my bar. So in the end, result, I run this, is I have the E bar chart, and I will have like 400 position to generate the outline of my bar. And if the number of points is 4, I only have 4, you can see like 4 points to generate my bar. I'll keep 400 for the moment because that's the standard that works in any case. So if I download the data and I open it in Tableau, so I put bar chart, I just need to change the text file to comma. And now I can put X, Y, and the path as dimension, continuous, and I can render my bar chart. Oops, path is X, Y, and I want them to be, so you can already see the outline with all the points. I can put a polygon, I put path, and I just need the group, and I have my bar chart. Because on SVG, the 0, 0 point is on the top left, I need to just reverse the axis to have my bar chart. So this is a really useless bar chart design with this technique, because currently I have 10,400 marks just to create 25 bar. So it's really useless, but you understand, like it's really simple to understand. The principle is I calculate the coordinates of the outline of every element and I render them in Tableau. So another best example could be this one. So it's the same bar chart, but I applied some rough style using a JavaScript library and using exactly the same technique. So I select my path. I ask for the point at certain lengths to have like the entire points of each bar, and I can download the data and see it's bar chart 3. I will just replace with my newly downloaded thing, textual properties, comma. And now, of course, it's not polygon anymore, it's lines. And when I decrease the size, I have my rough style width. Using the same technique, you can think about anything. It's just you convert the SVG element in a list of polygons. So this technique was used to render this network graph by just having the coordinates of all the dots. I used to generate a Voronoi tree map, again, just a polygon with coordinates. And this Viz, that was a collaboration with Yvette, that applied this rough style that you saw. So each time the good thing about observable is that people can reuse your notebook. It's called a notebook, and apply and also play with the data, play with the size, and input their own data. So I built a few tutorials to help you build a network graph and a Voronoi tree map, and more will come. Using always the same technique. So you can imagine like build a Sankey in 2 steps. Like you just input your data, you look at the result, and you download the data in a CSV to render it in Tableau. The only drawbacks of these techniques is you cannot, for the moment, I don't have find a way to automatize the process. And like if your data change, well, you need to re-render the CSV for your new data. So currently it's really useful if you want to build like a one-shot data viz for Tableau Public, but it's not really usable in a business scenario. And in the end, in 2020, I was selected, and I had the honor to join another group of amazing people, the Tableau Zen Master. And for me, the key to that was to grow your skill and to keep learning. And that can sound silly. Of course, if you learn, you will grow your skill, but it's always like finding what is your weakness and work on that. And there is nothing that you cannot do. If you put the time, if you put the effort, you can learn how to code, you can learn and you always find solution. And you can always ask also on Twitter to have feedback and to ask for help. Really, one of the first key is keep learning. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, find something that you don't know yet how to do, and find a way to do it. For those who have participated into IronViz, and for those who want to who plan to participate in the next round, each viz that you do during IronViz, you must learn something new. For the beer viz, I learned how to do the beer, the glass filling thing, and like you cannot participate into IronViz by only being in your comfort zone. You need to step out and you need to say, okay, what currently I don't know to do, but I will find the way to do it. That's the first key. And the second is always share what you're doing. As Shagar said, I wrote a book. I have those tutorials. And actually, when you share what you're doing, you are even learning more and you are even more expert into what you're doing, because it's one thing to achieve it. It's another thing to explain it to the other and to help them do the same. So once you have learned something, share what you have learned with others. So it will be like forever learned. Like you will never forget it once you teach it. So this is how my everything started, like as an internship, as a job, and it turns into a passion that also have influenced my job. And today I'm working like a part-time as a freelance, and I'm trying to continue growing my skill by always learning new technique in Tableau. And as a conclusion, I would also like to show always this graph by Elijah Mix that show like in the data visualization world, you can be in two side of a spectrum. You can be on like more the job size, that was called my job. I need to be precise, numeric, and clean. Data viz is a skill, and you have like the standard bar chart, line chart, and table. You can see data viz more as a passion, with more complex chart, with more aesthetic, with more design aspect. And actually, for me, if you are in one side or the other, you always need to strive to go in the middle, like to have both this data viz skill that is precise, numeric, and also to tend to do more design, more complex, and more crazy things. So have fun doing data visualization, and also learn the basics, learn how to convey information in the most efficient way. And if you have both, then you can do whatever you want. So that was my presentation. I hope you liked it. I hope you learn a lot. You don't hesitate to ask questions. Shaga, I don't know if you want to take back the lead. I stop sharing my screen and I will share it back again if I need to.
Sure, Tristan. Thanks a lot. I think I have been following your work from 2017, right? So thank you for inspiring us, sharing all your knowledge with us, right? And I think you said it right. You have to be hungry and step out from your comfort zone if you want to go ahead and innovate here. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. So if you have any
And there is
questions, go ahead, put it into the Q&A tab. Happy to ask and discuss with Tristan about it.
And as you said, Shara, there is no. Some people say like you shouldn't do crazy thing in Tableau Public because it's harder to understand. Some people say stop doing boring chart. You need to be more creative. And I think there is no good answer to that. You have fun if you want. Be precise when you need to. Enjoy what you're doing, and always try to think of the best way to share whatever you are.
Thank you. I think someone has asked you a question on your freelance projects. What type of clients do you prefer? Do you have any parameters using which you select them?
Not really currently. It's only I'm only working part time. So I still have my job at Oguri for 3 days per week and freelance for 2 days per week. And I'm mostly working um, with clients who can fit these 2 days per week. So it's more like it's not a long-term project. It's more like expertise day. Short term, like we need a dashboard for this, or we need like a coaching session to learn how to do that. So it's like the typology of client could be really big, could be really small, could be a startup, or could be like a big company. It's more about the interest of the mission, and always focus on database. Like I started working as a freelance because I like data visualization. I don't want to do data engineering stuff, or I don't want to administrate database and stuff. I want just to visualize data.
Perfect. I think that's an interesting question for you. What is the first step
Mm-hmm.
before you build the dashboard design?
Sorry, what is the question?
I'm saying, what is the first step before you build the dashboard designs? So literally, when you go ahead, start creating a dashboard rather in Tableau, what is your first step, right? Do you go ahead, create
So
like a sketch, maybe something like that of a dashboard, or
so
like what is the best practice you follow? Yeah.
yes. So I know a lot of people who are like sketching using a pen and paper and trying to build a layout of the end result. And I cannot do that. I tried, I listened to the advice. I said, okay, if everyone tells you need to sketch, it must be the good way, but I cannot. Like I never achieved to sketch something that I kept as the final product. My way of doing, and that's true for both my work and the thing I'm doing on my free time on Tableau Public, is I start by doing hundreds of sheets. Like I analyze the data into like a lot of different angles in a lot of different ways. And actually, I totally understand the sketching part when you build database using D3GS or with a programming tool, because it's a bit less easy to see the result directly. So you want to be a bit more prepared into what you want to do. But for me, Tableau is a sketching tool. When I currently work in a D3GS JavaScript biz, I use Tableau as the sketching tool. Tableau is flexible enough, is fun enough to just play with the data until you find something interesting. So in the end, I create a lot of these into a lot of different shape, aspect, aesthetics. And in the end, I select the one I liked. I select the one I think tell the best stories, and I start building around that. I usually choose one or two columns, and I say, okay, this time I will make a vis that use blue and yellow, and I start working around that. So it's more the worksheets that I've built that will decide of the length and the final aspect. I usually don't sketch. I just put my worksheet in a blank dashboard, and I start to imagine how to do the layout. But it's not really Tableau is my sketching tool.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think this is one question on by JR. He's asking about the tool which you showed, right? Observable. What other advanced charts use cases would you use in observable for build that can't be done in Tableau out of the box?
I think anything like I don't have any more things to show you. I would like to, but for example, take you can go like on observable and look like on the explore page and see what people have been doing, and potentially if it's SVG behind, you can render it in Tableau. Like, and you can, of course, you need to build the tool to input your own data, but you can imagine anything you want. Actually, that's the good thing. As long as you can convert the SVG into a list of polygon, a list of points, you can imagine any shape you want. It could be Yeah, just any.
There is a interesting question, right? Someone is asking you Tableau or Power BI.
I've never used Tableau or Power BI, never. So, and I think it really doesn't matter. Like, I guess someone expert in Power BI will do better than a beginner in Tableau, and an expert in Tableau will do better than a beginner in Power BI. But both two experts can achieve, I think, maybe in different ways, maybe in with different components, but they can achieve the exact same results. And again, I said it at some point during my presentation, whether it's Tableau, Power BI, D3, whether it's a pen and a paper. Some people use Illustrator, some people communicate on Instagram about their viz. That is really not my concern, and it's not important. Important is I understand, like for a company that needs to pay for a tool, it can be important. That's not my issue. I learned Tableau, and I'm using Tableau every day. I have no idea of Power BI. I know it exists. I know some people can do really good thing with it. Probably it's also a really good tool.
Perfect. And I think there is one question on colors, right? Like, what is the best practice you use when you are creating a dashboard with respect to colors? Do you follow any
Yes,
websites? That
this is something I told you. I heard like people say sketch before you create your dashboard, and this never worked for me. But I heard another advice that this one works for me. Is start your dashboard using only black and gray. Just design your entire dashboard in gray, and only after use one or two color to highlight the element you want to highlight. So in the beer visualization, everything is in the same beer color, but the country you select will be in black, and everywhere it will be in black. So you have this highlight color element that you can see. So I always use color just as highlighting way, but yeah, to serve a purpose, let's say. And for the choice of the color, I think it's more like you go on in, like, I don't think it's the most important thing. I am not an expert in like color choices. I just look at one color I like, and often, or like at color palettes that exist on the web, color that works well together. You can say, okay, if I take this yellow, I can use this blue and this red, for example, and then you go with that. But I'm not the one who spend like days searching for the right green, for example.
Yeah. And I think how much feedback is important to you, Tristan? I think you talked about in your presentation also, like we should go ahead and ask feedback with respect to our dashboards which we are creating, right? And whom do you reach out, right? Do you reach out to the community for the feedback, or maybe your colleagues or friends to get some feedback on your dashboards?
Yes, I most of my feedback. So there is two separate things. I like to express, and I think no one has the right answer. So on Tableau Public and everything I did for R&D and things like that, I don't ask for expert advice. I don't ask for people on Twitter for their advice about how to do Tableau Public Viz, because it's what I like, it's what I want to share, it's what I want to express. Is in my viz there is a bit of me inside, and this is what I don't want, even if it's probably good advice, it's just my free space of expression, and I maybe ask for feedback, but after, like for example, I said that I asked for feedback to improve after the viz about beer, but it was after. The first, I want to produce something that is mine, and after that is there, and after that I cannot change it anymore, I ask also, okay, what can I do better next time? So it's not influencing what I'm doing, but it's helping me to grow after. That, for me, there is a difference. So that's for the public. In my job, I ask people who don't know much about database and don't know much about the project or like the data. And it's not, I'm not seeking the advice, should I put a bar or should I put a line, this kind of advice. I'm more like seeking feedback to see if people can understand my dashboard. Like, I don't explain you anything. I can show it to my mom, to my sister, to whoever. If I show you my dashboard, can you understand? Do you have a context to understand? Do you learn something? Is there an analysis? And do you have fun using it? Do you understand that you can click here and there and do that? So it's more like the feedback of external user and not like, yeah, just to know if what I'm doing is easy to use and understandable.
Perfect. Thank you, Tristan. And I think I want to ask you one question about your journey to becoming a Tableau Zen master, right? Like winning the Iron Viz in 2017 and then uh, being a Tableau Zen master in 2020, right? What has changed for you after becoming a Tableau Zen master? And maybe if you want to go ahead, inspire some of the people who are there on the line today, right? If they are seeking to reach that level of helping everyone, like getting maybe learning some best practices with respect to Tableau, right? What will be your some of the tips for them, right?
What has changed since I'm a Zen master? Nothing. Like it's not like a burden or a heavy thing. It's just like and I think they see it like this is more like a recognition for the work you have done. It's not a pressure to do more. Like I don't feel any different, and nothing really has changed. I'm still doing what I like. I'm still doing what I enjoy. I don't do things to please, or let's say like if my next data visualization, I want it to be this way. And to, for example, when I did the Voronoi tree map, I remember that a lot of people were after using it, and not only in the best way. And there were like some discussion, should we do it like this or not? And I just want to have fun, enjoy what I'm doing, and to help people to also have fun and to also create new things. And I think it's something you cannot really, you can inspire, you can say, okay, love what you do, enjoy what you're doing, and share. And all my videos are available to be downloaded so you can learn how I've done them. Like I'm not hiding anything. The but you cannot force yourself to do that. Like if your goal is to be a Zen master, to have to change your job and have a better salary of whatever, and then you are like trying to be a Zen master for the sake of being one, and you are asking what are the steps to be. I don't know if that works. I don't know anyone who has, I don't know everyone also, but like the people I talked to, they are saying a bit, everyone is saying the same, is like everyone enjoy what they are doing. Everyone is genuinely wants to help, wants to share, because we love what we do. So we enjoy also sharing. And I can swear, like when I did the Voronoi tutorial and I saw a lot of people using it, this is what I like. This is like, okay, I'm doing something that is useful, that people like, that people enjoy. It's more like just enjoy what you are doing. Try to add something to the community. Let's say if it's the Tableau community we are talking about, if it's about being a Zen master, try to add something. Maybe write a blog in your language. I know this is something I'm really bad at. I could help also more like the French community and doing more blog posts in French, and so just find your way, find what you can bring, and most of all, enjoy what you're doing. And if you enjoy, there is no reason that you will not progress.
Perfect. Thank you, Tristan. I think I will just take a last question. And the last question is that,
Mhm.
like, during your data viz journey, did you have a mentor, like, who worked with you, right? And are you mentoring any people right now?
I would say a lot of people were my mentor in the sense that again, I don't think anyone has all the answers, and no one knows exactly the perfect way to. When I did my viz about the rainforest viz, the jungle, I had some people say, you shouldn't have done that, it will not work because it's not, there is too much clutter and I don't like what you have done and you shouldn't have done this way. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I just tried to do something. And in the end, he was selected. Even if the same person were also my mentor in the sense of giving really great advice for in other aspects. So I don't think anyone has all the answer. I don't think anyone has all the knowledge and can always give the best advice. So in that way, I don't see the point of a mentor in that creativity world, like when you have to be creative and you have to do things your way. I think you need a lot of mentor in the sense of people you like what they are doing and they inspire you. You can also make friends. Of course, it's a bit difficult to go to a Tableau conference this year, but find people in the community that you like. That will put an alarm to see your talk, even if it's really early in the morning. So yeah, find people that inspire you, find people that make you want to to do better, and in that sense, I hope I'm mentoring people by doing things, but there is no like I don't have a Padawan, let's say, that follows me and like do everything I'm doing, and I don't want that. Like, and it's not that I don't want to help. It's just like I think I don't have all the answers either, and I think sometimes I may say something and I will be wrong, and another person will be more right than me for this question. So if you need advice, if you need mentoring, I'm available. Don't hesitate to contact me on Twitter or by email, um, and don't hesitate to ask for help from anyone.
Thank you, Tristan. I think we are honored to have you on VizConnect. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for sharing your passion today, right, about data
Thank you.
visualization and things like that. Yep. So with
And
that,
if there
thank you
is any
everyone.
question,
Please,
if there is
please
any
go ahead.
question we did not answer this time, like through the Q&A, don't hesitate. Like on Twitter, my message are open. So don't hesitate to ask me later if we didn't have time to share it today.
Perfect. Thank you, Tristan. I think with that,
Thank you.
so one more announcement for everyone. Coming Wednesday, we have a session for you, and you will be able to listen to our new cohort of Tableau Public featured authors. So the registration page will be out today. Go ahead, join our LinkedIn channel. You will go ahead and see the invite over there, and join us to understand how exactly and the best practices they are following with respect to Tableau, what you can learn from them, right? And with that, if you have any questions for our VizConnect members, just go ahead, connect with them. My name is Sagar Kapoor. You can connect with Divya Bharti, Adam Biko, Alucius, Judith, Iram. We are all there to help you. Connect with us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and let's get connected and make this VizConnect community more impactful. So with that, thank you everyone. Have a great weekend ahead. Be safe, take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shayan.